Hey guys, it's chaotic. So, I haven't been feeling the best. I'm not gonna get super into it, but I haven't been physically feeling great, and then I've been kind of mentally exhausting myself because I'm dealing with two projects that are taking way longer than I thought they were gonna take, and I feel kind of bad that I haven't put out content in a while, and maybe that's not the healthiest mindset, but we don't have time to unpack all that right now. So, here are my Hazbin Hotel opinions. A couple rules before we start. Number one, opinions are not facts. I'm not trying to persuade you to think like me. These are just my opinions that I would share because there are two clowns inside me, and one of them does yap and one of them does disassociate, and the yapping one has won. So here I am to yap about Hazbin Hotel. But my opinions are not facts. They are just opinions. It is okay if you disagree with me. I think it'd be weird if everyone agreed with me. But also, you can tell me why I'm wrong, but this is just how I think and feel. There's not a wrong way to think or feel, especially when it comes to media. This is just fun. We're just going to have fun for a second. You and I and whoever else is here. We're just going to have some fun. So, I'm going to start off with something that is a little bit petty, and that is I'm really tired. I understand, like, I just got done saying that people are allowed to have their opinions, and you are allowed to have this opinion. I'm not saying that it's bad or it's wrong if you feel this way. I'm just really tired of hearing or seeing people say, there's just too much red. Everything's just too red. I don't like it's red, it bleeds into each other. Okay, I get it. Art is subjective, like I get it. But do you also complain about Lord of the Rings for having too many earth tones? Do you complain about Luca having too much green and blue? Do you complain about The Nightmare Before Christmas for having too much black? Do you complain about Avatar, The Way of the Water, for having too much blue? Do you complain about Star Wars for having too much black and gray and white? Do you complain?
One eternity later.
So yeah, I'm not saying you can't have that opinion or that you're stupid if you do. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying I'm tired of hearing it. It's a world, they're in hell. It makes sense that things are red. I think it would kind of look like, me personally, I think it would look weird if they were just wearing purple or green out of nowhere. I think that would be a little weird, but that's just my opinion. I think it's fine. Number two, this I'm gonna need you to make me a promise that when I say this, you're not gonna come for my throat and kill my family. I need you to promise me when I say this. This is my opinion. This is how I feel. I love Hell of a Boss more than I love Hazbin Hotel. Please don't kill me. And the reason why is a very personal reason, and I'm not saying that one show is better than the other show. I feel like that's not fair because Helava has two seasons and Hazbin only has one. I'm saying, me personally, I like Hell of a Boss more than I like Hazbin. And the main reason for that is because Hell of a Boss is a character driven story and Hazbin is a plot driven one. And me personally, like character driven stories overall more than I like plot driven ones. My favorite book is Aristotle and Dante discover the secrets of the universe, and that is like a famous book for having no plot. I I love slice of life. I would rather there be amazing, well written characters than a plot. Me personally. But that's just me. That's not for everybody, and that's okay. I also understand that my opinion may change, and it's also not the most fair opinion because, again, we have two seasons of Helva and only one season of Hazbin. And if they do dive into other characters, I look forward to that. My third opinion is Respectless is good. It is a bop. I know that the lyrics aren't amazing compared to the other songs. I know that technically it's probably not the best song. I know that it's very short, but I don't care. Tell that to my Spotify repeat playlist, okay? I love the song. I love Carmela. I don't know her voice actor, but I love Carmela's voice actor. She sings so well. I know she has like 4 songs already, but I just want her to have more. I love her voice with the Spanish guitar. Oh my god. So yeah, Out for Love and Respectless and a motorcycle outside. I'm so tired. Please leave. Go somewhere. Out for Love and Respectless. I know that they're not the best songs, but they're my best songs. I love those songs. I love them very dearly. I shut up. Stop revving your fucking motorcycle. Oh my god. But Respectless and Out for Love, I love those songs. I don't care if people think that they're not that great. I love them. I think they're amazing. I love them. I think, what am I on? I'm on 4. So I don't remember what video it was that I watched, but someone said that it was weird for a character who has experienced SA, or it was weird for a show that dives so heavily into SA to use it as a punchline for a joke, like talking about how Angel keeps coming onto Husk. And while I do not condone this behavior, I think that it just shows how well written Angel is as a character, because as someone who has unfortunately experienced SA, that is something that can happen with SA survivors, is that we don't understand boundaries anymore because our boundaries have been, or god, I wish I was literate, because someone else didn't respect our boundaries. It's now like, it's especially when it happens when you're young, it can be really hard for them to understand other people's boundaries, or to even understand boundaries, period, just because that has been broken down so much for them, especially someone like Angel, who that happens to on a regular basis as much as it does. And while I don't condone it, I appreciate that it's there, because for me personally, it's a very accurate depiction of someone who has experienced SA. This is also me talking about Angel from a SA survivor perspective, not from a sex worker perspective. If you want to see an opinion piece about the portrayal of sex work in media, Council of Geeks, they did a really, really good video on it. She opened my eyes to a lot of things that I didn't notice, because, I just didn't, because sometimes you don't know things until someone tells you, especially when it's not depicted very well in media. So I think that you should watch this video by her. It's pretty great. Anyway, moving on to something a little less heavy. I know that a lot of people said that the show was rushed, and I agree, but to be completely fair, they didn't know if they were going to get renewed for a second season. So it's just kind of like a Legend of Korra thing, where they felt like they had to wrap everything up in a nice little bow at the end, because, they didn't know. And I get it, but yeah, sometimes the pacing was off, and it's alright. I don't need everything I consume to be perfect. Minor opinion, but my favorite characters are Husk and Nifty. And also Carmela and Ezekiel. I know he has like 2 seconds of screen time, but I love him. And he is voiced by the same voice actor that does. His name is James something. I can't remember his full name, but he sounds like a king. But it's James something, and he also voices Oz in Tex, and he's just such a talented voice actor. And yeah, I really like his character design too. I really like it. So this one might be a little controversial, and also just understand that I am not a lesbian, so I don't understand what it's like to be represented as a lesbian. Like I can't say what I I can kind of say it from a queer perspective, but from a lesbian perspective, I cannot because I'm not a lesbian. But I have heard a lot of people say that they didn't like how Vaggie and Charlie were represented, and that is their opinion, and they're allowed to say that. However, I counter that with, and again, like this isn't me arguing against that, this is just my perspective as someone who's been in a relationship for 3 years. I think that when you are in a relationship and you are dealing with stresses that are outside your relationship, it can be really hard to be affectionate or to make time for intimacy. That has happened. Me and my partner have been together for 3 years, and there have been times where like it's the world is just so stressful or something's going on. Like last year something happened and it was really stressful, and it felt like when you're like when your world's falling apart, it's hard to be romantic. I don't know how else to say it. And when from the perspective of Vaggie, like when you're hiding that big of a secret from someone who you love more than anything, and then there's also the pressure of running a hotel to save people who are about to get mass murdered, I think it makes sense that they weren't as affectionate. You might say, oh, well, in Helava, like, Fizz and Ozzy are really affectionate, and are there any other couple? And Millie and Moxie are really affectionate, and it's like, yeah, but they're not dealing with like mass murder. I know that they deal with stress. I know that there's conflict in the show, but it's never like as high of a stake as Hazbin. So I get it. I do wish that they were like I do wish that there was more women love women representation in the Hazbin Hell of a universe, but I understand both sides is what I'm trying to say. I said what I had to say, but I also understand why people feel that way and they're allowed to feel that way. Anyway, my last one might be well, this is my last one. The next one might be a little bit controversial, but I don't get the sexual appeal of Alistair. Like, I understand why people are obsessed with him, but me personally, he just doesn't do it for me. I'm not saying that you're weird if that's what you're into. I'm not saying that you're not allowed to. I'm just saying, me personally, no thanks. This video I watched called I forget the YouTuber's name, but I'll put a picture here. It's called Fandom Can't Handle Asexuality, and a lot of the feelings expressed here are the feelings that I hold. I understand that asexuality is a spectrum. I understand that there's asexual people who do have sex, and I understand that there's a difference between asexuality and what's it called? Fuck. Difference between asexuality and being aromantic. I understand that. However, when someone tells me that they're asexual, maybe this isn't the healthiest thing, but when someone tells me that they're asexual, in my head, that's a boundary for me. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then I just don't think about it. When someone tells me they're asexual, it doesn't make me want to pursue them sexually. I think it'd be more of a problem if it did. Like it's not a challenge for me. It's a okay, cool. We don't have to talk about that anymore. Or we can talk about it on your terms. Also, he's a serial killer. I'm just not into him like that. I get that he's cool and all, but like not me. I'm good. All right, my very last opinion. Oh, I don't think that this is like a hot take. I think this is kind of a overall opinion, but I don't think that Mimsy should have been in the show. I know a lot of people are, said that she shouldn't have been in the song. I don't think that she should have been in the song or the show. I just didn't have to read the Bible length wiki to know who she is. Whenever I listen to Hell's Greatest Dad, I like leave as soon as she comes in the song. And it's not because she did a I don't think that it was a bad performance. It's just it's so jarring and out of place. It kind of ruins it. This is a very minor opinion, but I like I like Addict more than I like Poison. It's just it's more fun to dance to and it's more catchy. But I just felt like I had to say it and get it off my chest. My final opinion, this might be a hotter take, maybe a lukewarm take, but Husker Dust. First of all, why is the ship name Husker Dusk? Angel Husk was right there. You could have just said Angel Husk. Why Husker Dust? I hate how clunky Husker Dust is. I hate that it reminds me of the Nebraska Corn Huskers. I I hate that ship name. I it's ew is the only thing I can say. And then like did I want them to be together? Yeah. But I would have also been happy if they would have just been a platonic friendship. I think that Angel needs more friends in his life, but you know, Charlie is also a friend and he also has friends at the hotel, so like I get it, but I was hoping from this relationship is that it was going to be a slow burn. I think that would have been really nice and healthy, but obviously that's not what we got because if you don't know, it has been confirmed on the Instagram for the characters. If you don't know, Vizzy has like profiles that are official profiles for the characters, and it's like little B-side stories. So Husker Dust, ew, God, every time I say that, it's so gross. But Angel X Husk has been confirmed, and I'm not mad, but I am like a little disappointed because I think it just would have been better if it was a slow burn. If they gave themselves time and Angel could unlearn some of the if he could like unlearn and unravel and unpack some of the issues he was dealing with and kind of work on himself a little bit before jumping into a relationship. I sound like a parent. Just to give some breathing room so that he could learn Husk's boundaries and so that they could learn more about each other. I think it would be nice. And to see them like slowly fall for each other. I just think it would have been nice. And I feel like that's okay for me to say. I'm not mad. I'm not upset. I am just a little bit disappointed. And I feel like that's valid and okay. I do think, and this is just my opinion, and this is just my thought, and this is just a theory, but I think that the reason why it was rushed is, again, because I don't think that they know how much time they have with Amazon, but Amazon is trying to Disneyfy its business by buying different IPs and shelling out merch. If you don't know what I mean, like Lord of the Rings, they bought Lord of the Rings so that they could make that TV show, so that they could sell Lord of the Rings shit, which they already did. But this was it's just money grabbing, is what I'm saying. And I think they saw the internet go crazy over these two, and they just wanted to be able to shell out more merch. And that's just my opinion on why it happened the way that it did. I'm not trying to disrespect the writers. Like I do genuinely love the show, and everything that I said has just been my opinion. This isn't me bashing the show or saying that it's bad or saying that people shouldn't like the show. This is just how I feel, some feelings, just a light little fluffy video to do in between projects because God, this month has been kicking the shit out of me. I'm not gonna lie. And it's not even been in a bad way. It's just been a lot. Nothing bad's going on. It's just I'm tackling a lot of work right now, and yeah, Sometimes it's hard, but it's okay. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a good day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.